Mixtape Addict. Mr. Addict, you bitch, I've been grinding.
Yo, it's King Flow, Mixtape Addict in his bitch. And today, it's a special episode. It's called Mixtape Addict Shortcut. So, it's like online interviews that we're doing here. And today I'm with the homie called Marvelous.
Look at what the jealousy brings. They claiming that it's all for sport, but really envy the team. Unanswered lines with no machine, yeah, we got plenty of rings. But I ain't with the back and forth, that's why a pendulum swings. Now every day is dreaming of fast cars. The future in God's hands, meaning the past ours. We went to war for our brothers, eager to catch scars. Now I spend most of my evenings lost in the backyard. Look how far I done made. Fuck a bitch, I only lust for the wealth. If money talks and a lot of y'all fuss with the shells. We crippled a couple banks without the crutch of some help. It's good money too when you put the trust in yourself.
First question I'm going to have to call Marvelous, the Mixtape Addict question. Who's your favorite DJ, all-time favorite, bro?
I don't know if I have an all-time favorite, but I have a handful that definitely molded my childhood coming up. You know what I mean? You got to remember, bro, when I was coming up, it was cutthroat, bro, where you had all these DJs trying to put, you had Mr. C doing the best of big, the best of hoes.
If I was pussy, I'd be filled with syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, getting rid of ya. Got it locked like the penitentiary. Niggas mention me for MC, execution, who you choosing? The whack MC or the black fat MC? Jack Dempsey will start shaking all his...
Green Lanterns, we had the Cool Kids, you had K Slay killing it with the Drama Hour. It was wild, bro. It was a wild time, man. It was just, those certain DJs are so iconic to me. I would say those four: Slay.
Hey yo, it's DJ K Slay, the Drama King, the living legend, representing for the culture, and culture is a way of life. She Glooch, set it off.
Hey yo, peace Lord, how y'all been? It's been a while since we talked, so I figure let me grab my pen. Basic shit.
C, Who Kid, Lantern, Clue, they were just the epitome of hip hop at that time.
And the good thing about that whole mixtape circuit, the format, is that artists that were signed to big labels were still able to record some songs and still drop music. When was the first time you heard about a mixtape, and do you have one in particular that you can tell the people?
I think the first mixtape that I heard, I had to have been like 13, 14. And the thing is, we used to go into the gas stations over here and they would always have the mixtapes. And at that time, I'd be like, oh, those are just CDs with crazy artwork. But I think the one that really took fire, that caught my attention, was probably 50's Guess Who's Back.
I hate when bitches act like they too good for a nigga. Like they ain't grow up in the same hood with a nigga in the club, giving niggas the wrong numbers and wrong names. Bitch, won't you take your ass home and quit playing games?
And at that point, it was like it opened the floodgates for me, bro. I started digging through the archives. That's how I found the Mr. C's, the best ofs, and the things like that. And then I remember around that time, not too long after that, Saigon had dropped Warning Shots. And to me, that mixtape was so crazy. It was like an album. It was like front to back concepts, just everything, where it was like, like it showed me that these mixtapes can actually sound like albums. That it's not just, DJs screaming all over them, and then from there you start going further into the drama with the gangster grills and things like that, where it's like, this is insane, man. Where I would have to say, for me, 50 Guess Who's Back, because that took over by storm. Like, I feel like at that time, even if you didn't know what a mixtape was, even if you weren't a part of the hip hop culture, that mixtape, Guess Who's Back, you had to have lived under a rock to not have heard that mixtape.
And you was talking about like mixtape being a good project from start to finish. And I heard your 5-song project with all due respect, that shit is fine. What's your recipe to, create a good project from start to finish?
The production's got to be big. It's got to be big quality production. Then when you start building the records, it's like, okay, whether it's an EP, whether it's the album, whether it's a mixtape, then I'll start looking at the production and you start figuring out which route you're going to go with them, right? With the record.
Sure.
So then at that point, is there something for everybody on here? right? And then it turns into, once you get down through the process and you start, towards the end, does it feel concise? Does everything blend well? Does this record blend into the next one well? Does this one stand out? Do these two records actually sound the same? So now the listener's kind of getting robbed because it's two similar sounding records.
Yep. If nowadays you got albums, sometimes you got 15 songs, and you got two or three good songs in there.
Yeah, man. And it's like, even as a consumer, when I listen to some of my favorite artists, it's like, I don't want to hear the same repetitive sound. You understand? Like, I don't want to, because at that point it becomes mind-numbing.
Yeah, so you was talking about production. If you had to choose two producers to go in the studio for a weekend and get a quick EP done, like a 5-song like yours, who would you pick, bro? Two producers.
Off rip, I gotta go with one of my favorite producers of all time, and I have to say Just Blaze is one of them.
All right.
And then for kind of like the newer school, I would have to say Justice League.
Shoo.
Because
Yep.
Just Blaze, you already know what Just is gonna do. You're gonna have those epic horns with the Just Blaze, and it's gonna head knockers.
Exactly.
And then with me, personally, in my craft, I like a lot of live instrumentation in my beats.
Yep. You like that feeling?
Yeah, man. I like the live sounding horns or the strings, or man, I feel like if you put Justice League in a studio lock with Just Blaze, and then you put me in there, man, there's gonna be some head crack.
Yeah, it's gonna be some heat up in here.
Yeah, bro.
I think Justice League gotta be one of the best producers team ever. Cheers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I feel like they don't get their flowers.
True.
I feel like they don't get the flowers they deserve, because the thing with Justice League is, even if it's a sample, they have such an eloquent way of making it sound like it's not a sample. Like you would really think somebody was in there with a saxophone, with a piano, and it could be a sample the whole time, and you would never know.
Exactly, because the quality of the sample is so clean that you believe it.
Yeah, man. Yep. And what a lot of producers, I feel like, don't realize, bro, is like with certain artists like myself and a lot of other artists, when producers take that time to figure out, like, all right, where can I take this beat from here? You're forcing the artist to do the same thing with their flow, because now it's like, nah, if you gotta go left, I gotta go left with you. And now we're going like this, and now the listener's like, oh, whoa, like it really becomes, it takes a little longer to do that for the producer and for the artist, but the overall outcome is gonna be better every time, bro.
How do you see the future of hip hop? In the next 5 years, how do you see it?
It's always forever evolving. Hip hop's always evolving. It ain't going nowhere. I remember when the hip hop first came out, you had these certain individuals, oh, that ain't gonna last. It's gonna be a fad. Nah, bro. We run the whole music industry.
Exactly.
It's always gonna evolve. I think that it's gonna get to a place where I think something's gonna happen. I don't know what it's gonna be, but something's gonna happen, because right now, I think the industry is just so oversaturated. I read a stat the other day. They said in 2015, I think it was 30,000 records were uploaded a day through like DistroKid, like publishing.
Okay.
That number has jumped up to 85,000 records a day uploaded.
That's crazy. Everybody want to do music now.
Yeah, bro. Because everybody sees it as a quick bag. There's not people that are really purists like yourself and I that are really purists with our craft.
The quick bag, like you said, I think it's not gonna make you last, in the future and build your legacy.
Nah, well, the thing is, the average lifespan of a new artist nowadays is not more than 3 years.
Exactly.
3 years if you're lucky. 2 years is like the average lifespan.
Yeah, if they're lucky. I'd say 6 months.
I think something's gonna happen though, because you can only keep dumping so much into one pot before something overflows. You know what I'm saying? So I think either we're gonna have something groundbreaking happen that's gonna benefit the artist, or something groundbreaking is gonna happen that's gonna be detrimental to the artist. It's gonna go either way, but hip hop will be here. It'll never go nowhere. If I had to guess, I would say it's gonna be. I would say radio is probably gonna die out soon too.
For sure.
Because we have digital, we have DSPs, we have podcasts. Yeah. We don't want to hear commercials no more, bro.
Everybody's streaming on Spotify in their cars and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, they have
radio. Yeah, bro. So I think it's radio might die. I would have to say. I think that there's gonna be more power to the independent artists, and the labels are gonna slowly die out.
Okay.
But something's gonna happen. I just can't put my finger on it.
And what you think about the physical format? Do you think that CDs and vinyls are going to stay?
Well, now the vinyls and CDs. See, here's the thing. Like, I think those are more becoming like collector's items. Like, we're in a digital age now, bro. Exactly. You know what I mean? Where you probably have your streaming service you follow. I have mine. We pay our certain money a month to listen to whatever we want to listen to. But
is it
like,
fair, what you think about that? Is it fair for the artists though? Talking about Spotify and all those companies, because we're not really making real money with the streams. You feel me? If you sell an album to your people for $10, how many streams are you gonna need to get those $10? You feel me?
Oh, absolutely. There's got to be a shift, but the problem also is, and I've heard a couple gatekeepers in our culture say it, and it's funny when you think about it, when you say it, but when you think about it, it makes sense, is that it's crazy how there's no union for hip hop. But, going back to the question, you look at, like Griselda, right? Yep. Griselda, when they first started, they used to just market it where you could only get our albums and purchase them directly. Like, you get the physical copy. That only lasted for so long because they realized you're cutting yourself out on money through streaming. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, in our history of the culture, a lot of the money that was generated was never through album sales. A lot of artists made their money through touring and shows and things like that. We just looking at a different way that they finesse us, bro.
And
you know what I mean?
You personally, as an artist, what do you do to keep a money income, especially now because we don't have shows?
Right now, it's obviously now more than ever you rely on the streams. You try to do things to keep your listeners engaged. Like every so now and then we'll do like a competition with like a new project that's coming out. If you really sit down and brainstorm, there is a lot of ways that you can generate revenue. Yep. It just requires time and resources. That's really what it is, and you got to be willing to have the patience to execute.
We're gonna talk about the label because I know you're the A&R for Forward Thinking Entertainment. So can you tell people about that? Let them know what's up with that.
Yeah, I'm a part of Forward Thinking Entertainment. I'm one of the head A&Rs. So we we're very big on our quality, on records, on record making. We kind of took over what we felt, me and Vital, who's the engineer and the head of the label here. We kind of cherry picked who we thought were the most polished artists for our area, and we put them together. Now I think the next move for us is actually want to start looking for another artist and maybe even another engineer outside of where we're from, either whether it be across the country, whether it be in Europe, whether it be anywhere, and just start planting seeds of the brand, whether it be the UK, whether it be in France, whether South Africa, Germany, and get a representative of the label and just spread it like that.
And what you think about the European hip hop scene?
Honestly, I like it. I like, actually, who I just got into the other day? My man put me on to him, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little foreign to it. But I just started getting into this guy Stormzy.
I've been broke and I've been hurt and I've been flat on my face. Been cursed and I've been church, go put me back in my place. Been nicked for some dumb shit and I tried to change my ways. Saw my rucksack and said fuck that and I put it back on my waist. We went
over in London.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I like him, bro. I was bumping that Heavy is the Head album over the weekend, bro. I like him. He's dope and he's versatile. I like that. But I'm starting to actually look into that market.
Okay.
And for us, it's a breath of, for me personally, it's a breath of fresh air because it's a foreign land for me. It's uncharted territory, so it's all new to me.
In the UK, they changed the hip hop scene with the drill thing. That's crazy what they did.
They paved the way, bro. They don't, and going back to flowers, they don't get their flowers either. You know, over here where you know, in the States, it's kind of like, oh, Chicago originated the drill scene. That's false. UK did that.
It's different. It's a different type of drill music. The Chicago drill, you know, musically, they ain't the same type of shit that the UK drill is doing.
But on top of doing that, I'm actually working on the follow-up to my debut album, which was The Elegant Struggle, which is everywhere on every DSP that you could find. You know, since I dropped that, I did an album that was marvelous, but it wasn't the official follow-up. I just dropped the EP With All Due Respect that's everywhere. So I'm working on the follow-up album, which is actually entitled Inconveniently Established.
Okay. I like the titles you give to your shit.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. The joint with Sheik Luch is serious, bro.
Yo,
bro. The only thing serious anyway.
I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to Sheik, shout out to Bank.
Respect this thing of ours, they confronting our oath. And Lord, I pray may they suffer the most. Numbers and growth, the day we pull up with the wraith, then it's fucking we go. Cause since the dirt, they've been stunting our growth. Guess we the better men.
Shout out to Joe Millie and Cardo Brands. They all played a big part in that project and that record specifically. And that was just that was an accolade, bro. For me to be able to work with Sheik, because you know he's a legend, you know.
For sure.
And people don't realize that, but it's like, bro, I think they get lost because of Kiss's Face and Styles P. But let's not forget, bro, Sheik paved the way. Sheik was on All About the Benjamins. That's a platinum selling record.
All, you know, complete each other, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
To me personally, the Logs is probably the best hip hop group of all time because they are still relevant right now.
Yeah.
And how many groups from the 90s that can you say that's still relevant right now?
Nah, there's none, bro. And that's why, to me, my GOAT, as far as like artistry and everything like that, is Hov. It's Jay-Z.
I guess it's just a penalty of leadership. I guess I'm what niggas wanna be and shit. Or niggas just bored, wanna be and shit. Or they get the rap and start believing it. Think they Ali and shit.
Because you've never seen a run like that before. We're talking 30 years in the game. And here's the thing, people can argue it, right? Like, no, it's not Hov. But Meek Mill, you look at someone like Meek Mill, right? Yep. He drops his Championships project. What's the one thing in that first week that everybody talked about? Yo, did you hear that J verse? That's 30 years in the game, bro.
That's
like,
no shit.
You can't argue that. Hov is just... So to comment on what you're saying, bro, it's rare. You don't see those groups like that. I agree with you, bro. D-Block is they're still doing things together. Like they'll still drop projects and everything. It makes no sense. It's crazy. I hope to have a fraction of that longevity.
They still find the drive and the motivation, you know, to do all that.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. And you personally, where do you find the drive and the inspiration, you know, to stay creative with your stuff, stay relevant, you know, keep dropping videos, keep dropping albums?
For me personally, I think what helps me is, like, if I'm doing a project, I'll say, what can I do different? Like, if I give you my debut album, The Elegant Struggle, right? And I follow it up, I don't want you to feel like I got the Elegant Struggle too. Okay. So how can I put out something else that's gonna be as fire, but different, all the way to the left?
It's hard to do.
It is, brother. But that's what keeps that drive and that creativity and that thinking, and your mind's always going and the gears always turning to try and execute that.
Do you stay with the same producers when you work on your music, or do you have a lot of different guys?
No, that's another thing too, man. I have my favorite producers that I have relationships with that I really I think that are fire and that we have a great chemistry together. But I think the key is you know, if you're gonna use the producer multiple times on a project, it's a difficult task. You gotta make sure that the beats don't start sounding the same.
Exactly.
Like, even with all due respect, I kind of had a cheat code with all due respect because it was two different producers, but they were working on the same beat together.
Okay.
So I knew that it was impossible for them to cook up the same style sounding beat because they're gonna keep bringing their different flavors. But to use one producer multiple times, it's very easy to fall into that trap. So at max, I'll use the producer twice on a project now. I'll work with any producer. If the quality is there, I don't care where you're from. You could be from the North Pole. I don't care. I'll work with you, bro.
Make some cold ass beats.
That's it, bro. And put some hot ass lyrics on them.
If you had to find, that's a hard question, but if you had to find 3 words to define yourself, define your music, what would you say, bro?
Perfectionist, versatile, and I would say over analytical.
All right.
When God bless my engineer, bro, because there's been times where the littlest thing will cause such a heated argument, and it's not out of nothing but passion. You understand? No freaky. It's one view of one thing and my view of the other thing, and it's like, no, this has to sound beautiful. It has to sound perfect. And we'll bump heads, but then at the end, when it's done, we're tapping each other. God, it's crazy.
Yep.
So
you'd be like, I told you.
Yeah, man. But I will say, even on the over analytical sense, I think I'm starting to get a little bit better with that.
Yeah, you've been doing your thing. How long you been doing the music shit? How long you been rapping for?
It has to at least 15 years, bro. Not a little longer, actually. 17 years, since I was like 15, 16, I really started getting into it.
And what made you want to do the shit seriously, you know, like go to your first studio session? Because the first one is always something.
It was actually a record.
Okay.
It was a record that made me do it.
Okay.
You know, I used to write on paper and things, you know, this is before like we had these apps where we could write in our phones, and so it was the marble notebook and the pen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, bro, the record that made me start taking this serious was Royce da 5'9". He had a record on Death is Certain called I Am Me. As a consumer, it just seemed like it was very therapeutic for him.
Okay.
I do this music for me. I take time and put pride in it. This music is me. There's no true MC. Like,
I do this music for me. I take time and put pride in it. This music is me. It's no ruining me. I'm the truest MC. As hot as you need me to be, as cool as can be. If you as true as me, then this is for you. But I do it for I do this music for me. I take time and put pride in it. This music is me.
And he's going in and he's saying these personal things.
Royce is a killer, man.
Royce is hands down top 5 greatest lyricists all time.
I think I agree with you. Do you remember when K-Slade dropped the shit with 50 MCs?
See niggas die over rap woes and pussy pride. Cause Snoopy cried or cause Pookie lied. Y'all watch the Mac blow when I watch both your eyes do the 2C slide.
They put him at the end because they know nobody could fuck with him.
They knew better. Yeah, they knew better. If they would have put Royce at the beginning, it was over for the rest of the 49.
That's it. What's your relationship with DJs in your area, bro? And are they helping independent artists at all?
With the DJs, the local DJs in my area, yeah, I have a shout out to DJ Play That. Play That is a young upcoming DJ. Boy, listen, I've seen him have a whole club pre-pandemic ringing, like just jumping. As far as the major industry DJs, you know, nothing goes without payola, brother. You know what I'm saying? I personally haven't seen or heard any DJs from New York that have that are considered gatekeepers that are doing things because they believe in somebody's talent. It's more so how big is your bag. That's really what it is nowadays, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I would say more so the local DJs are really trying to help push their local artists and use whatever resources they can, and vice versa. The artists are doing the same for their DJs. But as far as the gatekeepers, nah, bro, it all depends on the bag and the budget. Now, when you have like a fire artist, it almost is like a stigma to it. It goes back to that oversaturation thing, right? Like, I'm sure you witnessed it. You'll be out at a bar or something before the pandemic. Yo, what's good, bro? I rap. Now, 9 times out of 10, if somebody walks up to you, keep it 100 with me, bro. What are you thinking?
Well, yo, the first time I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is this gonna be this time?
Exactly.
But sometimes, though, this shit is dope.
Of course. But that's now, peep game. That's you at a bar. Imagine a DJ. Imagine a DJ like a Mr. C, like a Who Kid, like a Lanton, like a Clue, like a Flex, like a Case. Bro, they get their DMs like, yo, I'm nice, I'm Then you hit it, and it's 1 to the 1. I rap for fun, gun, bun, son. And it's like, what the fuck is this? So now when you're going through 100 of those, and then that son that's really nice comes along, you're like, bro, I don't want to hear it. Where the money? Just give me the money. So I say that to say, bro, the DJs, they're not tapped in, bro. Not unless you got a bag or you already proved yourself.
Okay.
You have to prove yourself already, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so what's next for you, bro? What you got coming up?
Yeah, working on the album, on top of working on a collaborative project. A goal this year was to get more visuals out. Yeah, man, just one day at a time, bro. Just trying to, there's a lot of things on the plate. Slowly just trying to execute on all of them, man. That's it, bro. And just keep providing quality content.
And yo, tell the people where they can reach you on social media, or if you got a website, you know.
Con Marvelous on all social media. To follow up with me and the rest of the squad here at Forward Thinking, go to www.forwardthinkingent.com. You can catch up on all the new projects, all the new news, all the new updates, everything on there. Forward Thinking ENT on all the social medias as well.
Yep.
That's it, man. Con Marvelous everywhere.
Yeah. So everybody that's watching, make sure you go follow the dude, you know what I'm saying?
And with all due respect, out now, the lead single, Better Man, featuring D Banks and Sheik Luch. Whole Pro EP was produced by Joe Millie and Cardo Grand. Shout out to them. Yo, it's been getting a lot of love. It's been ringing. It's been ringing. So we're gonna keep that energy going.
Yo, it's Mixtape Addict certified. You know, you already know how the fuck it's going down, bro.
Salute to you, man.
Yeah. And yo, I got one last question for the young upcoming artists. We was talking about showing love and shit. What could you say to the youngins that's trying to be, have the same career that you got, follow the same path?
My 2 statements of advice for these young up-and-coming artists: A, quality is greater than everything. Quality is better than everything. Put that extra money into your studio time. Make that mix sound clean.
Yep.
And then secondly, don't follow a wave, create one. That's it, man. Don't try to follow a trend. Create them. Be the trendsetter.
I like that. That's what Jay-Z did.
Yeah, bro. And
nobody wanted to sign him. Fuck it. I'm gonna create my own shit.
GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT. I don't care. He's the GOAT. The bridge has been built. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed the conversation, man. Well, we're gonna definitely continue to build moving forward, brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Mixtape Addict movement. Salute to you, brother.
Yeah, that was real, man. Appreciate your time, my man. Thanks for coming through.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
Yes, sir. Mixtape Addict, we call King Flow, call Marvelous. We out there.